Yes, Tennessee, Trump is leading at 75%. Former President Donald Trump wins Oklahoma's 7 electoral votes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Spencer Plato. The Oklahoma Election Board reports former President Donald Trump received 72% of the votes through early voting and absentee ballots. As for Vice President Kamala Harris, she receives 26% of those votes. We are waiting for today's voting results to pour in, with the precincts closing just about an hour ago. We do want to get out live to our reporter, Olivia Hayes, who is at the GOP watch party. Olivia?
Future leadership, what do you mean? Like
for Republicans. I'm sorry. What he sees for the future under Trump leadership.
Well, if Trump wins, I think day one in office, he'll issue an executive order and they will shut down the southern border. So I know that for a fact. And then we need to work on immigration reform, because I tell we need to make sure we can have workforce visas and we can match employers with employee relationships. So I think that's something they'll work on. I think they'll unleash American energy. I think that's something that's been lacking, is really getting the inflation and costs down. Over the last 4 years, grocery prices have gone up 22% under a Biden-Harris administration. And when you think about it, that crushes the middle class and the working families. It doesn't bother rich people. Rich people don't care about an extra little bit on their grocery bill. And that's why I cut the grocery tax as governor, because I really wanted to make sure I'm helping working families. And then I believe we'll be safer. I think our military will be stronger under a Trump administration. But we still have a lot of the night left to see if that happens.
Awesome. And why do you feel like, and why are you feeling like the need to have new judges on the bench this year?
Part of our democratic process is every 6 years, judges are on what's called a retention ballot, and Oklahomans get to vote yes or no. So that's a democratic process. To me, they've been on for a super long time. One of them's been on since like 1984, over 40 years. At the end of the term, they'll be like 93 years old. That's kind of weird that they're still holding on to this job when they could make more money in retirement. And so when you're appointed for that long, and sometimes you just need fresh blood, and when they're also activist judges, sometimes they interpret and they're trying to legislate from the bench instead of just interpret the laws that the legislature passed. So for those reasons, I think Oklahomans have been frustrated. We'll see how that vote turns out. But for those reasons, I voted no.
And how do you plan to work with the new representatives that are elected, whether they're Republican or Democrat?
Well, I'll obviously invite them over to the governor's mansion, whether they're Republican or Democrat, and always have an open door policy. And I believe the best ideas come when we actually sit down and we kind of talk policy. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to work with all the new freshmen.
Yeah, and how do you feel about the state going red and being called so early in support of Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think Oklahomans, we have a lot of common sense, and historically a red state, and I'm not surprised that we went so early.
And what is tomorrow? No worries. And what does tomorrow look like for you? I know you said the sun does rise again. How do the next couple days look with you people being in office?
Well, they'll have like organization day. So locally, the Senate and the House will come organize. I'm going to go speak to the Senate caucus next week. And so we'll have them over to the governor's mansion. And so kind of get to know all the new freshmen. Thank you. Trying to get to know all the new freshmen. As far as nationally, I hope that they can call this over the next day or two. But the way it's worked in the past, some of these swing states take a while to count their votes. And I hope for America's sake, we kind of know the answer in the next couple days.
All right. Thank you so much. Those are all my questions.
Have a great night.
You too. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Lauren Jackson. That's so nice.
All right, thanks, Olivia. That was Governor Kevin Stitt at the GOP watch party in Oklahoma City. And we have live coverage across the state tonight. Let's get out to OU Nightly's Kennedy Patterson. She joins us live at the Cleveland County Democratic Watch Party. Kennedy?
I'm here at the Cleveland County Democrats Watch Party, and you can see the attendees have made their way inside. Now, as they eagerly wait for the election results, I was able to make my way around the room to ask them how they feel about this watch party. Party attenders say that this is the first major watch party that they've had since before the pandemic, with the last successful one being during the Obama administration. We'll keep you updated as we wait for the results. Live from the Cleveland County Democrats Watch Party, Kennedy Patterson, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kennedy. We turn to Texas, where some people may say things are off to an unexpected start. Vice President Kamala Harris holds a, excuse me, let me pull up the graphic right here, but we have a, excuse me, Kamala is now down 47% behind Donald Trump, who is at 52%. And as for the Senate race, we are monitoring a close race between incumbent Ted Cruz and Colin Allred. Currently, the Associated Press reports Allred is leading the polls with 49.1% and Cruz sitting at 49%. That's a 1 point percent difference in that race. And let's take a look at other states in the presidential race tonight. Former President Donald Trump has picked up several other electoral votes. And we begin with Tennessee, where Trump is leading at 75% over Harris, who is behind with 24%. And moving to Mississippi, Trump is also ahead there with 75%, and Harris also behind at 46%. And we also look at Alabama, who is seeing Trump ahead with 68.6% and Harris behind with 30.9%. And we are also looking at Vice President Kamala Harris, who is also getting some electoral victories in other states. So we are monitoring that as well. We are seeing Harris leading in Massachusetts with 63% over Trump, who has 34%. And we're monitoring Connecticut, where Harris is also ahead with 60% and Trump behind with 38%. As for Rhode Island, we see Harris ahead with 51.1% and Trump behind at 46.2%. And in Maryland, Harris is at 30.3% and Trump is behind at 66.9%. And we are also monitoring New Jersey, where we see Harris at 55.5% and Trump behind with 43.1%. We will continue our live team coverage through the night. Stay with us.